Hello, everyone. This satirical skit is intended to entertain while sparking thought about the contradictions in global agricultural policies. It's all in good humor, highlighting some of the absurdities and challenges that can arise from complex trade regulations. Please remember, this is purely comedy. No offense is intended toward any group or individuals. I hope you enjoy the laughs and insights this conversation brings. Imagine if Chanakya, the ancient Indian strategist, and Winston Churchill, the iconic British statesman, walked into a bar to discuss agricultural trade policies. That's the premise of this skit, where Mr. Churchill, a proponent of developed world trade policy, sits down with Chanakya, a small farmer from a developing country. Mr. Churchill passionately promotes global agreements, GMOs, and intellectual property protections, while Chanakya humorously challenges this logic and impact of these policies on his farm. Chanakya, the agreement on agriculture is revolutionary. It ends the exceptionalism of agriculture. Now we treat farms just like any other industry. Oh, fantastic! So my tomatoes are now competing with Tesla. Should I plant a few Model Ts next season? No. It just means more discipline and predictability in agriculture. We are bringing world class standards to your farm. Predictable, yes. Like the time my crops grew exactly on schedule, only to be wiped out by a very predictable monsoon. So, where do I get this world class standard weather? It is all about market access and domestic support. The AOA helps by regulating subsidies. We use color coded boxes green, amber, blue and regulate export competition. We're cutting down on export subsidies to level the playing field. Color coded subsidies? Is this a global agreement or a coloring book? So, are big countries like yours finally cutting down subsidies? Well, not exactly. We keep some subsidies, just a little less. Ah, so you cut with one hand and keep with the other. Amber box, that's you dumping produce on us. Blue box, you're supporting farmers we can't afford to. And green box, we don't even have the research for that. Level playing field, alright, but we're in different stadiums. Moving on. Chanakya, have you heard of tarification? We've replaced quotas with tariffs, so everything's more transparent and fairer. The agreement's long term vision is a fair and market oriented agricultural system. We're reforming global agriculture. Tarification, right. So you tax my exports and call it fair. Sounds like I'm free to export if I keep it to myself. And these rules, written by people whose idea of farming is watering their office plants. Next, they'll tell me my tomatoes need a permit. Chanakya, this isn't just about rules. The WTO's vision is global food security. Imagine it. Everyone, everywhere, with access to food. Doesn't that sound amazing? Take Russia's wheat export ban in 2010. It was to keep food at home during a crisis. Argentina's done it too, taxing exports to make domestic food affordable. These policies protect consumers by controlling the prices. Food security, huh? So when things get rough, the rule is ignore the rules. Russia hoards wheat, Argentina taxes exports, and my prices go up. Yes, my crops are very secure, securely rotting in my backyard. But the Rome Declaration defines food security for all, everyone. Chanakya, food should be accessible, safe, and nutritious, and we are ensuring quality too. The WTO insists that exported food is nutritious and aligned with local dietary needs. Local dietary needs. So if I grow eggplants, I'm supposed to check if the guy in another country even likes eggplants. Should I start taking orders? Yes, sir. Would you like that eggplant, organic, gluten-free, or with a side of international approval? The point is to keep markets open so everyone has access. We limit export restrictions to prevent panic and ensure steady supply chains. The WTO has put frameworks in place like the high level task force on food security. They put together a comprehensive framework for action. Comprehensive for sure. If I keep my rice here for a famine, that's wrong. But if I export it and drive up local prices, that's somehow right. Feels like a security plan only a bureaucrat could love. But next time my daughter says she's hungry, I'll just tell her, don't worry, the WTO has a comprehensive framework. You keep the food security, I'll keep the hunger, a perfect win-win. Chanakya, you're going to love this. The WTO lets developing countries label certain crops as special products. Think of it as VIP treatment for your rice and wheat. They get more protection, fewer tariff cuts, less competition. And that's not all. We also have the safeguard mechanism. It's called the special safeguard mechanism. It's like an emergency shield for your market. If import prices drop too low or if there's a surge, you can block them temporarily. VIP treatment. So what's next? A velvet rope for my tomatoes? Should I dress them up or just take selfies with them? And I get special permission to keep prices low while cheap imports flood the market. How very generous. Apart from that, with plant variety protection or PVP, your crops get legal protection under UPOV. Think of it as a patent for plants. Oh, fantastic. So my crops come with a legal team. Maybe they'll defend me against the drought or sue the monsoon for trespassing. No. PVP is about innovation. Breeders develop new seeds and they get exclusive rights. It's an incentive to keep inventing. And the beauty of UPOV,
is that they recognize farmers' privilege so you can save seeds for personal use. So if I invent a new way to grow rice, I'll get exclusive rights to eat it myself. And if I sell a handful to my neighbor, like we have for thousands of years, suddenly I'm a seed criminal. Feels like you're just protecting me from my own farm. No. Breeders invest millions to develop these seeds. They deserve protection. It's only fair. You pay for quality, it's high yield, disease resistant. So they create a super seed, I buy it once and then have to keep paying to replant what I grew. So farming is now a subscription service. Just to be clear, my crops come with a renewal fee and I am farming on premium mode. Chanakya, it's simple. Breeders get exclusive rights to authorize production, sale, and distribution. It encourages more innovation. It's about value. The more advanced the seed, the higher the yield, the greater your income. Exclusive rights, except for me. Sounds like they're protecting the plant from the farmer. The greater income that you mentioned is going to be spent on paying royalties. It's like selling me an umbrella and charging every time it rains. And Chanakya, don't you see? PVP preserves your unique varieties by preventing overuse. This keeps the biodiversity of your region alive. So, preserving biodiversity means my neighbors buy imported seeds instead of sharing the local ones we've used for generations. Well, yes, but look at the innovation. You're getting top tier, scientifically advanced seeds. Oh, advanced seeds, the kind that refuse to grow unless I keep paying their inventor. That's what they call progress. Here I thought stubbornness was just my buffalo's job. You're just not seeing the big picture, Chanakya. UPOV standards bring everyone to the same level. Every farmer benefits. Benefits, sure. Because once the seeds are registered in Geneva, they'll grow faster on my farm. Or maybe my fields come with Swiss insurance now. It's about consistent standards, Chanakya. Protecting breeding, protecting farmers. The world is different now. This is progress. Protecting farmers? You mean the farmers selling me seeds with an expiry date on them? We've been farming wrong for thousands of years. We've just been waiting for someone to invent pay as you plant. The world is different. Yes, indeed. Before I planted a seed, it grew. Now I need a contract, a lawyer, and a magnifying glass to read the terms and conditions on my own crop. I mean, wait, Mr. Churchill, I get it. Game changer, environmentally friendly, benefits for all. It sounds like a beautiful dream. But let's be real here. You're turning my farm into a checklist of rules I did not ask for. You're telling me to label my tomatoes, tag my buffalo's emissions, make my crops VIP certified for vegetable aisle and somehow also grow gasoline on the side? The only thing fueling here is my confusion and a headache. My land doesn't need a climate roadmap or a carbon offset scheme, it needs water. My crops don't need labels or compliance, they need buyers. And my buffalo, she's doing just fine without a methane tax or a pollution permit. You know, Mr. Churchill, I didn't need a policy paper to grow food nor a task force to share my seeds. I've been farming, feeding, and living on this land long before biofuel mandates and international standards arrived. But if the WTO really wants to help, maybe they could start with rules that make sense for everyone, not just those who can afford to build a lab next to their lettuce. Because if this is the future, I'll be spending more time certifying my carrots than growing them. And that's one kind of progress I am happy to miss out on.